So here we are, guys. Patch day is finally here, and yeah, the Hornet's Sting update is finally, released. After many dev servers, many updates to the dev server, everything is here, everything is fixed, more or less, I would say. I mean, you never know. But yeah, let's show some of the changes that we had from the dev server, okay? So of course, the aircraft will be here, like the Su-30 SM over here, with its amazing navy camo, as you see. One of the most beautiful camos, in my opinion, of the game. Yeah, with its R77-1s and with its bars radar in this amazing cockpit. So yeah, this is more or less the same, of course, but some other things are a little bit different. Of course, we do have our interesting maneuver mode. Of course, we have thrust vectoring for this thing, which is pretty cool. So obviously you can do some crazy maneuvers with this thing. Let's see if I can try it. I mean, I'm kind of heavy, so it might be a little bit weird, but yeah, as you see, thrust vectoring is working, and it's just very cool to see this aircraft being. I mean, look at this maneuver, man. So yeah, very cool to have this. So yeah, let's get to the hangar to show some of the changes that we received actually from the dev server, of course. So I think the first one, which is probably one of the most interesting ones, by the way, look at this skin. Some people say that this is a boring skin. I love white color schemes of the Chinese Air Force. It is just pretty cool. But yeah, guys, the J10A, there is a change to it. Guess what? The PL-8B was added to the J10A, which is pretty cool, actually. It was something that I was asking for. It is finally here, and it will make this aircraft a lot better. It might even become a 14.0 eventually. I honestly think that, I mean, the 14.0 will probably be the B or C models, but still, the PL-8B is an amazing missile and way better than the PL-5E2 and, of course, the normal PL-8, right? You don't need to research any other modifications. It is just there. You know, if you have the PL-8 modification, it will become the PL-8B, and that is fine, okay? Now, let's test the TWS Plus. This is a new radar mode that they added. They added basically the TWS for Electronic Scanned Array, the normal TWS, and the TWS Plus. Now we have other types of TWS, but how it works in the Plus model, now it's properly like modeled, you know, it feels like it is working properly now, and you will see that it's a lot faster to get, you know, updates to the TWS, and they are a little bit more precise. It's just a little bit better, you know, not perfect like an Electronic Scanned Array, you know, but it is still way better, and well, pretty much it is a buff of the Eurofighter, right? And while we are talking about the Eurofighter, there is actually a buff to the Eurofighter. So let me actually climb a little bit and I will show to you. And now it is faster, not in acceleration or anything like that. Normally, I mean, they did change some things from, you know, the normal live server from before. I talked about that in the dev server. Some decreased in power in certain situations, increasing power in certain situations. But the major thing here is that the VNE, or the maximum possible, you know, speed that you can do on the Eurofighter in Mach number, got increased to 2.3. So now the aircraft can be a little bit faster than what it was before. I don't remember exactly, you know, what was before, but you can see that the aircraft is faster on the max speed side of things. Like I said, acceleration won't change too much, but you can get to the Mach 2.3 with the aircraft, which is pretty interesting, since it's an aircraft that was already pretty fast. Now it can go even faster. Of course, will you use this in a normal battle? No, probably not, but it doesn't matter too much. It is still a buff to the aircraft, so I think it was important enough to talk about, right? So we're trying to get to the Mach 3 over here, but it's, you know how it is, it's kind of hard. Let's see if we can break our wings over here. Mach 2.27. Let's lower the altitude a little bit. 2.28. Come on, baby. It kind of doesn't even go to those speeds. You need to just be really high up, but you get the idea, right? So it is a little bit faster on the max speed. Then we have a new mechanic. So if you go to air battle settings over here, you will see that there is one thing that it's new here. Friendly target indication on RWR. So now you can turn it off, the friendlies in the RWR, or turn it on, or only when it's tracking and launching, or when only is launching, right? Of course, this will only work for RWRs that have an IFF identification, so the more modern ones, right? But still, it is pretty interesting to have this, since we do have sometimes a problem of just being kind of confusing where, like, basically the RWRs are, you know. So I would stay put just with the only in launch mode for now, just to make sure, because sometimes people are launching missiles close to you, so it's just better to be on only launch mode. But still, there was also a bug about laser designators. It was a very old bug that basically, if you had a laser designator, it would just appear from the nose of the aircraft on thermals, you know, cameras and stuff. Now it is going to be working from the pod, which is pretty cool if you have a pod, of course. There's a new HUD for the Sea Harriers. I don't think it's that different, but it is a custom HUD for the Sea Harriers. So all the Sea Harriers now have this, which is pretty cool as well. And now we have the items recycling, right? So this was a thing that, you know, I did show a little bit on the dev server, but I just wanted to cover again, okay? So for example, here are the things that I never will use. For example, these Wagers over here, I can recycle them. And once you recycle them, you can actually try to create items, right? So for example, here I can choose to create, I don't know, let me just create one item, and it will randomly choose a target, a new thing, right? So blind hunt. Blind hunt is a pretty good one. Let's create another one. Maybe it's a booster, maybe it's something else. Universal backup for Germany, that's cool. It's always good to have backup, especially for ground battles. A booster of 300%, that's good. So you can just choose, you know, a lot of them, for example, and it will basically recycle what you have. So for example, here we have multiple boosters over here, but also some you know, some, I forgot the name of this thing, orders. I will never use the AAA and the Be the Best, so I can recycle them again, right? You can have some orders, some universal backups, as you see, jack of all trades as well. So I'm not gonna use them. You can keep recycling them. They go for a 2-to-1 ratio. So for example, if you have, you know, you have to recycle two like things to be able to create one thing. I don't know why it's not. Oh yeah, there we go, to create one new thing. So it is, you know, better than nothing, but it's still like you're gonna use these things. So yeah, I just think it's great. And yeah, and then of course we have all the new skins and everything. I mean, we are in the, let me just get into a test flight and get out, because we are at night over here, which is not great. Yeah, we cannot show the first skin over here, Golden Dragons for the F-18. Just an amazing skin with the fuel tanks down there. It's just a great skin. Cockpit on this thing is amazing as well. So just a very cool aircraft, the F-18. Of course, I will be covering these in videos soonish, you know, into the future right now and today, with the first impressions out of these. But yeah, of course, we have the skins that were added, you know, today basically. So we have TPE over here. We have the Gladiators one. This is for the premium. F-18, we have the Golden Dragons, which is my favorite for this one. We have for the late model, we have the Blue Blasters, the Cowboys, which is pretty cool. And then the Top Gun, which is also very cool. Very similar to the Navy Russian one, so very cool. We have for the A1, additional one, which is the prototype camouflage for the Carl Vinson, which is okay. I prefer to use the normal ones, but still, the Su-30, like I said, has the Russian Navy one. Of course, we still have the normal one, obviously. Then the J11 has the whitish one, which is pretty cool. Way better than the original one. We have the anniversary one for the Italian new Tornado. And then for the F-18C, it's the same, okay, for the Finnish one. For the nets, we have two new ones that are very similar to each other, the premium one. So we have this one, and then the Golden Eagle one. which is pretty much the same. Changes up a little bit of the tail there and the victory marks. We have one for the Harrier T10 as well. Let me show to you, which is the greenish kind of one, which is very cool. It's very similar to the GR5s when they got introduced into service. So I will actually buy this one. I like this one way better than the gray. Yeah, some skins as well. And yeah, basically this is it. Of course, I already showed the majority of the things. Like I said, there will be videos showing the new aircraft, showing the new stuff, you know, first looks and everything with that. But yeah, basically this is it. Nothing too crazy from the dev server, mostly fixes and everything with that, you know, nothing too big. But it's also, you know, the patch getting ready, right? So of course, the dev server was already in a very good position in the last like couple of days, right? So for example, the VT5 over here, now it's finally ready, which is it looks a little bit different, more or less. And where is the thing here? And I really it's not showing what it is, but armor parts. Yeah, it's not showing what type of composite and everything, but it's saying it's a composite screen, so yeah, that's okay. And yeah, now it's finally ready, for example, right? So the majority of the things will be like that, so nothing too crazy, right? But at the end of the day, it is pretty cool to see the game finally ready with this, right? But basically this is it. I don't want to get too long over here. Let me know in the comments what you want to see. Make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Of course, the next couple of videos will be like more than 2 actually, but will be more or less just first looks on real battles with the new aircraft, especially the Su-30, the F-18s, the J11. These are the ones that I will focus the most, of course. But then of course I'm gonna fly with the Harrier T10 and some others as well. Okay, see you guys on the next one. Subscribe. Bye. See ya.